This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Iconoclasts. It was written by Adam Scott Glancy and Shane Ivey, and it can be found at Arc Dream Publishing. It's also available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our handler is Keith Craig, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Julian Arba as his character, Nasir Laundry. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Julian.
Thank you, Tom. April Fool's Day, 2016, and I find myself at Ramstein Air Base. I've been pulled into a meeting, and our handler puts on a video, and it's those ISIL fools bebopping around Iraq. And a bunch of young punk kids, and what looks like to be Russian, maybe Chechen. I'm not sure. Can't tell quite exactly. But these guys are on a mission to drum out some infidel or whatever it is they like to do. I think they just really like to make silly videos and whatever. This video is quite interesting. It's quite different. They show up at a house, what looks like to be a really nice house on the outskirts of the city. And you can see them as they approach the house. They look really skittish. They look nervous. It's a house of Rashams, is what they called him. And they were there to see if he had any illegal art objects. Apparently, Rasham was a member of Saddam Hussein's inner circle at one point and perhaps gathered a large amount of wealth. We see these guys enter the house acting really tough, bullying the help around. And they gather everybody into the room, and you can see that Rasham is in this living room, and he's fairly elderly, looks about 90-some years old, perhaps. The ISIL crew are doing a search around the house, trying to find illegal art objects, and the house looks like it's been completely stripped. Like, no art on the walls, no statues, nothing. It looks like it's all been pretty much cleaned out. And then, as some of them have gone away, there's Rasham starts to speak in a really weird language, and you can see that the Chechen Timur sort of wavers a little bit, like his focus, and it's like something weird had happened. And then there was some violence that took place, and then the woman, the Safa, made mention about some that the old man was making gold out of lead and had a lab somewhere on the property. While this was going on, some of the other of the ISIL crew had found what they were looking for. They found some old books that they didn't like, had some really ugly looking pictures in it. So they go down and confront Rasham. more confrontation. And ultimately, uh, Risham met his demise, and then they decide to go out into the yard, into the backyard, and they find the remnants of an old pool in the ground, and they dig it up. And at the bottom, they find this archway. And they really get excited at this point because they think, oh, we've really got him now. We've really found what we were looking for. They enter the door and they find exactly what they are after. All sorts of art, statues, tablets, everything pre-Islamic. And they're really excited, nervous. But the really strange thing is they in the middle of this room is a large cage with a bronze amphora in it, and it's got all sorts of weird uh, embossed things on the outside of it. And these guys, they sort of start smashing stuff up and they start to shoot at this amphora, and it doesn't do any kind of damage whatsoever, which is very strange. And then somehow the top of the amphora gets taken off. I think one of them, he called himself Alan or Alan or something like that, uh, gets pulled into the amphora in a really dramatic and violent fashion. And then out of the amphora comes this black objects, and the objects create words in Arabic, um, basically demanding them to uh, bow down and serve. Uh, and they're just torn apart. And that's where the video ends. And that's where we're here to get sent in and figure out what they found and what we need to do about it.
Excellent. All right. So, as mentioned, it is 1 April 2016. You're in the Sensitive Compartmentalized Information Facility, the SCIF, on Ramstein Air Base in Germany. Uh, Before you came in, you had to you can't take any electronics into a skiff. They had to all be checked in and stored outside of it. The Army colonel who is your handler. It's Colonel Stuart Gwynn. He hit stop on the video that was up on the computer screen. He's like going, gentlemen, uh, you are going to be part of Operation Bone Box. You're going to be going into Iraq to try and figure out what happened, what we can do to stop it, and most importantly, make sure no one knows about it.
Jesus, man, who comes up with these operation names?
I
Oh,
mean, did we
we
see
got a
what we
special group.
did we see what we think we saw? Something came out of that amphora and tore some of those guys apart.
Oh, that's right. Some of you are kind of new. Okay.
So this amphora, my agent Kasim, he has a degree from Harvard in Middle Eastern Studies. Is there a check I could make to see if that amphora, like what civilization might have made it, what culture it's from, something like that?
It wasn't
Um,
Arabic. We knew that.
no, definitely wasn't Arabic. Uh, you would you could give me an occult.
Okay.
And there was that weird symbol on the cork.
Ah, so close. I have a pretty high occult, but didn't roll quite low enough.
Yeah, the best you could get, because you do have a 60% occult, so I'll give you a little bit just because you are intelligent in it. it looked like it was like maybe a Syrian,
Okay.
but you're not sure because you didn't quite make the roll. But you're like, okay, that writing kind of looks like some of the stuff I might have seen in some of the Syrian artwork and stuff when you were doing some of your studies and all.
So it so to the best of my knowledge, it didn't travel tremendously far to get where it was.
No, because yeah, Assyria was all right there through that part,
Okay.
the Fertile Crescent and all that. So,
Cool.
But that would have been what, 2000 BC?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty old.
yeah. It was.
What?
I'm going to give you all a brief to give you a catch you up on what is going on out there, and then we're going to bring in the person that found these video cameras and all. And if you have any questions, you can ask him about what he saw. He was actually was in Mosul for a bit.
Uh,
So
one,
they
you have one of
yes,
these guys here?
not one of those guys. You'll see. We call him outlaws. He's an outlaw. We'll talk to him in just a bit. He thinks he's Delta Green, but he's not. He's not sanctioned at all. So, the lights get dimmed, and he brings up a PowerPoint presentation because the military loves their PowerPoint presentations, and goes Operation Bone Box. He's like the background on this is that the site of Tariq Muhammad Rassam's home is south of Mosul, Iraq. Mosul is currently controlled by ISIL, who thinks they're going to be the new caliphate for the Islamic religion. Oh. Tariq Muhammad Rassam was a known scholar and collector of antiquities. We've lost kind of track of what he was doing after Operation Desert Storm and all. He used to have regular contacts with the organization until Iraq and the United States had a falling out over the invasion of Kuwait. His society's like going, these are your orders. First up, cover the CIA and the Pentagon. You're officially assigned to Task Force 01132. This is a compartmentalized task force inside the Joint Special Operations Command. And your official cover story is you are there to track down high echelon ISIL actors and neutralize them. If you get asked any questions by Allied forces, you work for Task Force 01132, and that should suffice for an answer. And click. He goes, you'll proceed to Kirkuk Air Base in northern Iraq. We have a operating place where you can be. It is not a skiff, so it is not going to be as secure as here. And we want you to figure out what was going on. Your very first thing you need to do is go to Rassam's house and recover the artifacts that were left behind. The good chance that they are important and they might be needed. And the last thing we need them to do is to disappear further into Mosul and into ISIL control. After that, return to Kirkuk and try and figure out what exactly that thing is, how to stop it, and again, most important, make sure no one finds out about what you're doing. He goes, you are authorized to make contact with U.S. and allied services to access their operational intelligence, both SIGINT, HUMINT, MASINT, all the ints out there. Be aware that Russian intelligence forces, Iranian intelligence forces, Syrian intelligence forces are very active in the area. Also, they try avoid tipping them off that you're in. This could lead to a compromise of capabilities. This is not a typical Delta Green mission. You have the authority to request the full force of the U.S. Military to the bombers. They're taking off daily. They're encouraged to come home with their racks dry. Every bomb dropped on ISIL targets. If you need something blown up, put in a request. As long as it's in ISIL territory, no one will ask any questions. Because
Daniel looks absolutely thrilled.
yes, he goes. He goes. This last thing, he's like, gets out a piece of paper out of a Manila folder. He slides it over. He's like, "This is TSSAR BB classification. These are the what we were able to call from SIGINT signatures of what we believe is related to this." And he slides this piece of paper across the table for you.
SIGINT assets have identified killings with features similar to the ones at Rassam House. 0134, 24th March 2016, three ISIL fighters at a checkpoint in Al Bath neighborhood of Mosul were found dead and skinned. 0946, 24th March 2016, the incident at the Rassam home reported to ISIL counterintelligence by the ISIL religious police. 2116, 24 March 2016, the skinned bodies of two ISIL fighters on night patrol were found in the streets of Al Sinnia district. Is it Al Sinnia? Is that how you pronounce it? Okay. 2357, 24 March 24th, 2016, an ISIL night patrol raised an alarm upon finding an ISIL fighter skinned in Al Shihah district. I apologize. I'm going to be butchering these pronunciations. 0148, 25th March 2016, an ISIL fighter was found skinned in Nabi Yunus district. The fighter who discovered the body was unable to give a statement. It's vague. 0641, 25th March 2016, an ISIL fighter was found alive but catatonic in Al Bath district. 0800, 25th March 2016, citywide patrols after curfew were doubled. No ISIL fighters were allowed to move about after curfew in groups of fewer than 4. Okay, so they're starting to get spooked. 0832, 25th March 2016, 7 members of the Ramal family were found flayed alive in their house in the Mutana neighborhood. 2 sons could not be located despite a search of the neighborhood. 0319, 26th March 2016, an ISIL fighter was found skinned in Al Fuminia district. There we go.
Yep.
The other 3 members of his patrol were missing. 0907, 26th March 2016, the Halim family was found skinned in their home in Al Masarif district with 6 dead, 1 son missing. 2032, 26th March 2016 to 0319, 27th March 2016. 8 ISIL fighters were found skinned in the streets of Al Baladiyat district. 3 others escaped with injuries and were transported to Al Kasana hospital. 2 others were missing. 2101, 27 March 2016 to 0439, 28 March 2016. 7 ISIL fighters were found skinned on the campus of Mosul University. 2 vanished, 2 were injured, and were transported to Al-Kansa Hospital. Sorry about that. 0919, 29 March 2016, 8 members of the Nasser family were found flayed in their home in Al-Wasr district. The eldest son is missing. 1856, 30th March 2016, an intense firefight took place east of Al Sinaya district in the demolished ruins of Nineveh. Police and military units were ordered out of the area by head of Amin al-Dawa, ISIL counterintelligence in Mosul, Ahmed al-Jabiri. Why do I know that last name? Was that mentioned in the video?
It would have been, yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No pertinent incidents have been reported as of 1st April 2016. No pertinent incidents have been reported outside of Mosul. Well, it seems that our Rassam friend was rather busy leading up to this video.
All those dates took place after the video was
After.
filmed.
This looks to me like
That's right.
whatever
I'm
the
sorry.
thing
Got the
whatever the
dates.
thing was in the amphora is moving. Have we mapped out the direction that it's moving?
Uh, all the incidents have been taking place inside of the city.
Right, but I see what you're getting at now, but
Mhm.
it's
It could
moving or
be
possibly expanding a radius of control.
Hmm.
except for occasionally at 9 a.m., it looks like it's doing this mostly at night. A lot of early morning stuff.
Given given my background with these kind of missions at this point, since it says I'm a veteran of a few of these,
Mm-hmm.
am I used to? I wanted to call him a Johnson, but that's Shadowrun. Am I used to the handlers not having a whole lot of information?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I think you're onto something. Anybody else spot anything?
We should look at the intervals too between the incidents to see if there's some.
Well, it seems to me that that thing was sealed up inside the big jug. They let it free. We saw it skin people. It's going around, it's hunting or eating, it's doing something. I don't. We should look at a map, see if there's any kind of pattern, but I think it's just preying on people in
But
the
we could
chaos of
see that
war.
it's functioning from a central location, perhaps.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, I
So
think they let a monster out.
I don't know. I mean, it could spell. I don't know if feeding's the right term.
Nanobites of
It
some
likes taking
sort?
our skin for some reason, and a bunch of people are missing.
Well, I can't argue with you there.
I mean, that would be pretty high tech nanite robots of some sort, but it seemed to be a swarm. Like that's what it was
Mm.
functioning like. It looked almost
Uh,
like sand or crystals or
well,
something that were flying through the air.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, it's probably something that's been around for a long time. They just called it a demon and put it in a jar. No one else
Right,
believed
right.
them.
Or it's something more modern and it was put into the jar by
Uh,
Rassam.
I'm Daniel kind of looks at Al Rabini with Al Rabani, sorry, with kind of a side eye and is like, we'll put a pin in that for right now. It's a good theory. It's a bit dramatic, but it's a good theory.
The
Um,
first
I
date.
mean, I mean, if you're going to go with mythology, genie in a bottle. But as
yeah,
far as I
precisely.
know,
oh,
genies
This,
didn't come flying out of bottles and start tearing the skins off of people
yeah,
either.
this might be a one of a kind artifact, and maybe this is where it came from.
When was the first date
Alien,
of these
maybe.
attacks?
What was that,
About a
Cassie?
week. What
Sorry.
was the first the first date on that dossier?
Let me look back
I believe it was the
up.
23rd.
23rd was the day that ISIL went to the to Rassam's house on that
Oh,
dossier 0134 on 24 March. So, you know, less than 24 hours from when that raid happened.
Okay, and so it's 7 days, and essentially we're just waiting for the next event, basically.
well, that's part of it, sure. If I remember correctly, looking at that dossier, we have a couple of survivors at that hospital, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Be worth checking, talking to the people at the hospital, both the staff as well as if we could talk to the victims themselves.
Yeah. Did
That
did we see what happened to the woman? She seemed to know that Rasan was a wizard or alchemist. Maybe she knows more than what we got out of that videotape.
Visual representation of the timing and locations of these events and see if it's moving in a direction, like
Yeah.
traveling, or if
Okay.
it's,
Yeah.
you know,
You guys experienced army people. Well, anyone, give me a military science, land or navigate. Either one would work.
Wow, I got a 12.
12?
A pass.
Nice. All right.
Uh,
So,
I got a ot one.
oh, nice. Wow.
Nice.
All right. Uh, Plotting those out, those neighborhoods and stuff, it takes a little bit because, you got to kind of plot it out. You're probably not familiar with Mosul's neighborhoods and all, and then what ISIL was calling in. It looks like all of those events are happening kind of around, most cities they build up around the river, so the Mosul's no different. There's a river that goes right through the heart of the city, and they're happening mostly around the heart of the city is where it's at. But they Rassam's house was south of the city by quite a ways. And then the incidents that were picked up by SIGINT, they're happening inside the city. They start off on the west bank of the river, and then the last couple ones are on the east bank of the river.
Do we know if anybody has visited the Ground Zero, the compound?
You do
since the
not.
event?
You did not.
Something we could figure out once we're boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
whoever covered
whoever
the
has a grip.
bodies.
So the colonel, he goes, he's like, I'm going to bring in, he calls himself Sloan. I'm going to bring him in. He was the one that recovered the cameras and all. So he picks up the secure phone. He goes, bring him in. Yeah, bring the briefcase also. Hangs up. And so the door opens, and you see a 65-year-old Caucasian man. He's got a white beard. He looks quite tanned, and behind him is a female in a sharp pantsuit, and she's got a briefcase handcuffed to her right arm that she's carrying. The 65-year-old man, he's wearing handcuffs, and he's singing "Joy to the World" by Three Dog Night to himself.
Oh, so he's not doing too hot.
Yeah, no, his hair is kind of sitting down, and he goes, and the girl goes, Sloan, have a seat. These are the Delta Green agents. And Sloan kind of looks up. He goes, the so-called Delta Green agents, you mean? I'm the real Delta Green.
All right, we're not gonna fight you on that. What's in the box? He sort of motions at the briefcase.
He goes, oh, that's the other thing I got out of that abattoir I went to down there in Mosul. I found these video cameras. I found that stopper that was in the amphora and stuff, and apparently they think it's important enough to keep it locked up.
Hmm.
So
So,
they set the briefcase
Mr.
down. They open it up, and in there is the stopper with the little tree branch icon carved into it.
Okay. Mr. Sloan, this is apparently not your first rodeo.
Oh no,
Uh,
I've had many nights at the opera.
I'm curious, what's your theory?
My theory is that Rassam, he was Delta Green before the government crashed it down, and he found something on one of his missions back in the 60s or 70s, and what he told me when he contacted me was that he was trying to figure out what to do with it, but then he got worried that ISIL was going to find it, and I was supposed to come down there, pick it up, and get it out of the country. Unfortunately, those fucks showed up before I did and killed him.
Interesting. And did you have any idea what the thing was? Did he
He called it
describe it to you at all?
he called it the father of war.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, he said that he had some tablets that that weren't complete, but hey, might have a way to actually banish it out of here. But as you saw in the video, those tablets weren't treated very well.
No.
Is there any there be any way to tell if there's any credence to this guy being or to Rassam
That's
being
a
former
human.
Delta Green?
That's a human. Or are you talking about Sloan being former Delta Green or Rassam being former
Rassam.
Delta? The handler will confirm that he was. Yeah,
Oh,
Colonel
okay.
Glenn. Yeah, he was. And he worked for OSS during World War II. He rolled over into Delta Green when we initially stood up the program. When the program was initially stood up, I wasn't around for that.
Not to interject, but I've confirmed that there doesn't seem to be any real pattern to the times of the attacks. They're 9 hours apart, 12 hours apart, 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours. They seem to be all over the place, but mostly at night. Doesn't seem to be like there's much that happens after 9 a.m. and not before 6 p.m. or so.
So maybe it's dormant during the day or just less
Well,
active.
except that I'd consider 9 a.m. to be pretty much into the day, wouldn't you? 6 a.m. the sun
In
comes
Iraq,
up.
it's probably 90 degrees at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the
So it's
heat
probably
tigers it
random.
out.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
something.
Do we have any contacts in the city?
In Mosul,
Yeah.
if you do, they're probably dead.
Okay. Just trying to figure out
The place is a nightmare. Dead bodies hanging off from light posts.
said the
Yeah.
Russians are in on this?
Oh yeah, the Chechens. They're always out for some blood and all. It's like I don't know. In my opinion, why don't you just let that thing slice up some more of those assholes?
Well, as much as I would love to just let that be their problem, these things have a tendency to spiral out of control. You should know that, Sloan.
Yeah, I just after all the things I've seen, all I want to do is crawl up into a bottle of gin and forget.
We have currently access to a computer.
Yeah.
In a skiff?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I don't, would it be networked? I don't think so.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
so what I want to do is I want to look. Since I'm the techie guy, I'm looking for a correlation. I think that what Sergeant Warner just said might be highly feasible. It might be, I want to see temperatures during the day and night and see
Mm-hmm.
if there's a certain temperature range where the thing is not active in the middle of
Okay.
the day. Because that makes some sense, possibly,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
it doesn't like heat.
Okay.
Do I roll something?
Uh, yeah, I was going to say library use, but I always got to look up what these are. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I can do my
Mhm.
math.
Sure.
Math
Yeah.
was probably.
Hmm.
I gotta know one too. I wish that was good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's good, but it's not
It,
great.
it's a path. Yeah. Yeah. So, you do find obviously there's a correlation between night and it cooling off and everything, but not any correlation where you could go, oh, this is a certain temperature because even at night sometimes it can still be in the 90s and
Okay, so yeah,
mhm.
so I'm not finding any apps. It's
Yeah, right.
a temperature range, but okay, it was worth looking into though. It made
Hmm.
some an interesting.
Yeah.
That's what
So,
I'm here for, the little details.
mhm.
Sloan, where exactly did you find these things?
They were down in that vault. It
Okay.
was strange. I went in there. It was so cold. It was a shocking temperature change when you went down there. The videotapes. There was one camera, that one guy that got sliced to pieces. His
Yeah.
video camera was there. The other ones they were discarded. Down at the bottom of the pool, like they ran off when they ran off.
Mm. Did you find evidence of 5 or 6 bodies?
The only evidence of bodies I found, besides the Rassam who was shot in the head, there was a pile of bones just outside that amphora, and then there was offal of some guy that was just shredded. The one that actually opened it. There were just pieces of him everywhere.
Because there were 3 folks there that we didn't see them get shredded. The camera got dropped or something.
Yeah, I
Well,
didn't see them.
it in the footage, it spelled a word, right? It was trying to communicate with them,
Yeah.
It said
and
submit and worship or something like that.
and there's all these people that have gone missing. Maybe it's starting a cult following.
Well,
The
the Father of
Oh,
War would need
And it
man.
said,
Father of War,
spelled out kneel and serve is what it said.
kneel and serve. Perhaps we should check the occult databases for this Father of War.
Well,
Sounds like Ares or Mars, Greek.
Middle East. Well, actually, what is his?
I don't know that kind of mythology.
Mm.
The player, do, but I'm looking at this character sheet and going, no, Daniel would have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Without doing, Cassim would like to do further research on the Father of War, but is there anything that he might know offhand? Maybe another occult role, or
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely it'd be an occult role.
nope.
He's having a rough go. Yeah. Okay. So, um, yeah, for that, Sloan, he kind of smiles. He's like going, um, we about done here. You gonna take these handcuffs off after you get out of here? I've got a date with a slow gin.
Did Sloan? Did you do anything with any of the other things in that cubby hole?
No, I was going down there to meet Razam to get the amphora and him out of there. It was late, and I didn't want to stick around till and for ISIL to come back and catch me. They're not really known for their quick killings. You've seen the videos that guy sawing the dude's heads off with a knife
Yeah.
that needs to be sharpened. Yeah. You know how it is. Jeremiah the bullfrog. He'd steer you the right way.
Is that a contact of yours?
No, you think joy to the world.
Oh, all right.
It's a good friend of
Anybody
mine.
else have anything for a friend?
Video, where was it posted to or shared to?
The video was not posted.
Excellent. So
Yeah, he went
It
he went
was a
in and
live
covered
stream.
it physically.
Yeah. I mean, there was probably some from the one guy's Snapchat, but like those are pretty short little videos and stuff. Mm. So
well, I guess we're
it's
going
like,
to have to
yeah,
go there and take a look for ourselves and
it's
see.
like, yeah. Like, well, I hope you guys have some fun and all. I heard the program's not as fun now that they're all official and stuff. You don't get cool little nicknames or any of that. It's like, oh no, you you guys really should think about coming on over to us. Like, what do you call us, outlaws or something? You guys should come on over after this little joyride you have and all.
Do any of us have any context for what he's talking about?
Like the history of Delta Green, we probably know a little. I guess.
Yeah. So Delta
The
Green
thing
in the
is that
70s, they split.
they
Oh,
fucked up more than they saved.
right. Oh, I know the player know the history. I meant like us, the characters.
You're Daniel Wood because you've been on many missions and stuff. So yeah. So and Colonel Gwynn's like going, all right, Sloan, get out of here. If you pop up on my radar again, we'll we'll make sure that you don't. He's like, oh, he's like, Sloan's like, don't worry, I plan to sleep in a in the gutter for the rest of my life with my bottles. People leave you alone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does he
good
leave?
sell.
Yeah, he gets escorted out.
I don't trust him. I think that he may very well have been in league with Ramshire, with
For some,
Rasan, and
Well, yeah, he said that he was and was on
they were
bad on him.
trafficking. Yeah, but I think they weren't getting rid of these things. I think they might have been trafficking them.
It's possible. I mean, they're
either
called
way,
outlaws for a reason.
yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
program, what's the general uh, sentiment towards people like Sloan? Like,
Vigilantes.
Hmm.
true. Yeah,
But I mean, from my perspective, it would be so I disappeared. Sorry about that. It would be somewhat foolhardy to just dismiss them out of hand simply because they're not official. I mean, clearly the man's seen some shit. Um,
Yeah. It's just
but it's
when
interesting. I
when
mean,
they're doing that all on their own, their temptation for, you know, falling to going to the other side, like the Brits with their Pisces sucking up artifacts and using them instead of getting rid of them. I mean, I'm just going by what I've heard.
yeah.
so I guess out of character. So everyone here has some kind of experience with the program.
Mhm.
I've been in it for a year.
Oh, okay. For some reason I was assuming that wasn't the case. So thank you for
However, I've
that.
never actually seen anything.
Got it.
Mhm. Dang. So, he goes, I've secured transportation onto a rotator headed into Kirkuk. It leaves this evening. He's like going, who's going to sign for the money?
Well, I've got Arab. I can do Arabic, so I don't know. Do we need a? I guess I'll
No.
do that. I've got a high in accounting
Yeah.
and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Hey, he opens up a cabinet and he pulls out this large case. He sets it down. He's like going in there, $112,000 in $100 bills. None of them dated past 2002. You'll find that in Iraq, bribery is expected.
$112,000. Yeah.
Yes. It's like
So,
sign here.
oddly specific, but okay.
Yeah, and as your lawyer, I will tell you, you need to keep track of all that $112,000 because they're going to expect receipts
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
for
I'm not sure
everything.
that bribes get receipts when you give them to people, but
No, we can at least make a
Probably
note of
not.
it.
I'll keep records. I've got a little notebook.
All right.
Right. So
Um,
we have a few hours before the rotator takes off to head into Iraq.
I'm going to use that time to look up a little bit about the Father of War, more
Okay.
than what I just know off the top of my head.
Right. Yeah. That is going to be a give me a, search, or I'll give you even like maybe a another occult, but I'll give you a kind of a bonus die if you're actually using, like, not trying to just pull it out of your head.
Okay. So I did succeed on an occult roll.
Okay. All right. What you find is just references to it. So the Iraqi Museum, it had many documents and artifacts from the Syrian Empire. Unfortunately, after 2003 and the fall of Saddam government, the museums weren't well protected for a while, and they were severely looted. You know that you'd probably be looking for tablets that were known as the Winds Unknown to Adad, ADAD. And so that is, but none of those were scanned in into databases or anything like that. So where they are now, you're not positive. Now, of course, you would know without even trying that. Of course, Iraq was a territory of the British Empire, and the British Empire was known for bringing artifacts back to England also. So,
I believe the technical term is stealing everything not nailed down.
yeah, the accurate term.
So
Preserving it in a museum.
those tablets, could you type those out in one of our
Yep.
chats? And then, uh, so it sounds like some information may be relevant to what we're looking into could be held within those tablets. So I would like to, before we leave, just maybe make a phone call and maybe have someone look domestically, like uh, check around for something that of that name, and then when I get to Mosul, um, then I can look around there too.
Okay.
'Cause these things could have
Hmm.
ended up anywhere. So maybe I'll call someone
Yeah.
who's like involved in uh, archiving or
Hmm. Hmm.
museums and just be like, hey, can you check your network for something of this name? Or
Okay. Yeah. Uh, and you given your contact information in Kirkuk, it'll be a. They'll get back to you in a day or two,
sure.
because you're digging through massive files and data. So, okay. Sounds good.
Um,
This,
Go ahead.
oh, I'd like to look at the lid of the amphora
Uh-huh.
if it's still there.
Yep. It
Um,
is, and they have the briefcase there. They want you to take that because it seems like it's important.
okay, okay, great. Um, it, is the lid also made of bronze as well?
Now it's made of like obsidian.
Obsidian. Okay. And as far as like is that the only carving, that little leaf at the on the top?
Yes.
So is it like inlaid with gold or something that kind of sets it off, or
And
uh,
look, looking at it, you could imagine it was, but it's also possibly 4,000 years old. And if it was
yeah.
gilded, it probably would have quite easily gotten worn off in the millennia.
Okay. Okay. Just kind of rolling it around in my hands. Does it feel unusual, or
That sounds like an awareness roll. Or not awareness. Sorry, that was the wrong system. Alertness.
alertness? Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. 22
Nice.
is a
Yeah.
pass with an extreme.
Yeah. Something about it. It does. It feels like, like it's hard to say, but like when you're handling it and all, like like you, oh, if I put my hand like this, it should fit perfectly, but it doesn't. It's almost like it's like not following the laws of geometry.
Mm. So it's not perfectly round.
No,
It's kind of
no, no.
misshapen a little bit.
Yeah, it's got exactly. Yeah. Like when you just kind of look at it, it looks all right, but when you start looking at it closer, well, that's I didn't notice that angle there before, and you turn it and you look back, and now that angle's not there, and but it's very subtle. It's one of those things, where you're like, oh, this is off, but you can't quite put your finger on exactly what it is. And if you gave it to like Kasim, he noticed something else was a little bit different about it.
Okay. Okay.
I think as Daniel sees you kind of like starting to fight these extra angles or facets, he's going to put a hand kind of over it just to break your sight line, and he's going to look at you and go, "Don't look at that stuff too long; it'll give you a migraine."
Don't I know it? Uh,
Is there
Unfortunately, it's our job. All
is
right,
there
I'm
a
sorry.
database I can scan to see if that symbol is used anywhere else in Delta Green, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, sure. Give me a computer science roll.
Let's see, I got a 58. What is my computer science? My computer science is 80, so I passed.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, gotta be. Yeah. So yeah, looking at it and everything, it has been logged before, and they uses like it. It's like a two-dimensional representation of a multi-dimensional image using advanced like quadruple integrals and everything to map it out. And
Hmm.
they logged it and they call it an elder sign.
So this is an elder sign. There's a lot of minor data on it. It looks like there's a number of files that are completely restricted regarding it,
Hmm,
but it seems to possibly be a protection sign of some sort.
Hmm.
interesting.
It has been seen before in a number of texts and objects. It's cross-referenced to this weird star-shaped one that's not quite a star, but um, it's a protection symbol. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
easiest thing to say about it.
Interesting.
Okay.
Protection from like evil spirits kind of thing.
I think so. I think that's the way
Hmm.
it's used. Maybe to keep the genie in the bottle.
Yeah, it
Oh,
protected a
there's
lot
a
of people
thought
from being skinned.
for a long time until these kids messed with it.
Yep. Don't go pulling the
Uh,
cork out of the bottle.
I think in my free time, I think that Daniel is going to he's probably gonna have to do this outside of the skiff. Um, but I'm gonna send a message to my sister, Kathy,
Mm-hmm.
that just says going on another fishing trip. Don't know when I'll be back. Um,
You would definitely have to do that outside the skiff.
yeah, yeah, no, I've had both the fortune and ill fortune of having been inside one. um, uh, and I think while let's see here. No, everything I'm gonna want, I'm gonna have to acquire on site or in situ, I think. Um, I will leave the books to those better suited. Um, and I think Daniel's just going to be kind of making sure all of his paperwork's in order before he ships out.
Mm-hmm. They Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Right. Okay. Anything else, or are you guys just going to fast forward to catching the aircraft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I was
right.
gonna say, I think the aircraft is definitely gonna be our next stop.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. So, get on the aircraft. There's quite a lot of people that are on board because we're rotating people in and out of the theater and stuff. I'll bring up a map here so you can kind of get your bearings of the geography of where you're headed. So it's about a 10-hour flight. So you can see up here, you're flying into Kirkuk, which is in the Kurdish part of the country. Up here, Mosul, pretty much the entire province of Nineveh is controlled by ISIL at the time. And just a little bit south of Mosul, probably we're talking about 20, 30 miles south of Mosul, that is where Rassam's home was and all. So, you know, so you're up in northern Iraq is where this is taking place. The flight in as you transit pass from Turkish airspace into Iraqi airspace. They have you close all the window shades in the aircraft, and then you come into land. And as you get close, you start feeling that heat and the humidity of the Middle East that you land in there. And of course, you get off. The military members, you're all used to it. You know that it's going to be a couple hours of in processing into the onto the base, and also takes a bit to get you logged in and all. Looking around Kirkuk Air Base, which you see there's lots of aircraft. You're constantly, if you're having conversations outside, you have to stop constantly as fighters and bombers take off, and they are quite loud and they drown out all conversation. You can see there's large concrete barriers that are kind of set up in like a hexagon, and inside of that is the tents where you sleep in. Those large concrete barriers were so if people would mortar shells. It was a lot harder to fling a mortar shell over those concrete barriers than just into a tent and all. And people are constantly moving around. You know, it's a very hectic moving around. The military guys, you're used to that. That's how it goes. It's organized chaos. Is the best way to describe it.
Nice.
All right. Well, when you check in, you see a lot of people. Eventually, they get you get checked in, and they point you to a one of those hexagonal concrete barriers, and they go, "Okay, they set up a trailer for the task force in there. We've got your computers and everything set up for you." So,
Damn. All right.
I'll go in and check out the setup.
okay.
I think I'm
Hey.
also going to do that, but I'd also like to, I want to know where the field chow hall is.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay. So going into there, you see that there's a trailer. Essentially, it looks like a giant rectangular semi-trailer back of that.
Sure.
And so you go
It's like
inside. It's got a large air conditioner unit on top. When you go inside, you see you've got office chairs, conference tables. You've got encrypted satellite phones that you can use, and two computers. One of them hooked up to the NSA net, and another one hooked up to the unclassified internet.
uh, what about secure storage?
For weapons or for like there are safes here inside of here.
Okay, I'm thinking ahead to
Hmm.
coming back with things that hurt your eyeballs to look at. Where am I going to put that so that
Yeah.
The cleaning lady doesn't find it.
Yeah.
I'm
like a
guessing one of these
floor
safes.
Yeah.
Okay.
temporary green box for a
Yeah.
little bitty green box.
Yeah, I just, trying to make sure that it's not like, okay, cool, we've got it here. Oh crap, and now where do we put it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, cool. I guess the first thing I'm going to do in that case, since I've located the food and our base of operations, is locate the quartermaster.
Hmm.
Um, and I would like to know if anybody has absconded with an RPK and a few belts.
Absconded with it? Like,
Well, I mean, like has brought it in.
oh, no, they don't have.
Doing that thing you're not supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, yeah. uh, no, they've got it logged really good, all the stuff coming in and out. But no, they don't. They don't have that.
Okay.
You could get one, but he doesn't have one there.
So I would need to go and locate it. They don't have one there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I will add it to the shopping list.
All right.
Um, I'm gonna ask silly questions because
That's all right.
that is exactly who this guy is. Are there any laws available?
Uh, there are on base, but like they're obviously you would have to sign in out or slip a couple dollars.
Are we gonna insinuate there's bribery in the American military?
I got a thing full of 112,000
Yeah.
bribes here.
Um, I'm gonna earmark that for right now, as much as I would love to
Mhm.
have one or two. I also don't want to have that fall into the hands of people we don't like.
True.
Um, should something go terribly wrong. Okay. I'm guessing the kit on my sheet is stuff that was set aside for us
Yeah.
previously. Like I'm
Hmm.
assuming we didn't walk down the plane ramp with all this.
Yeah, your guns would have been checked into the luggage of it, and then when you were in processing, you get your guns back and everything. Yeah,
Got
so
it.
people walk around with guns, all over the place. Yeah,
Right, but I mean,
yeah,
if that's the case, in my head, I guess on an American military base, you're flagging yourself pretty hard if you're not carrying standard issue.
yeah. But if you
Um,
remember that the cover story for your task force is that you are CIA here on, and so CIA carrying to go undercover, it would not be surprising that hey, they are carrying AKs and
Thank you for flying Spook Airlines.
mhm. So yeah.
Okay, cool. RPGs and RPKs on my list because we're in a war zone. Um, oh, you said that we had air support available.
You can put in requests for air support.
Sure, I would love
There.
to have that radio, sat phone, whatever it is, on and about my person before we go outside the wire.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't want to have to just magic up a phone I didn't have or later.
Right. Yeah. No.
Uh, cool. Well, I am. Is this trailer equipped with beds or are we
Yep.
bunking?
There are cuts.
Okay.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, I am going to set up. I'm just going to claim one and set up my den, I guess.
Set up your rack. Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. All right. Um, Everyone else, what are you going to be doing here? You know, you just get acquainted and stuff. Like I said, it's about a 10-hour flight and several hours to in process. So, it's been a long day already.
I'm the techie hacker, so I have become intimately familiar with all of the equipment as far as computers,
Okay, yeah. Oh,
communication.
when you log into the computer, you see that you have an email from Colonel Glenn already
Oh,
on NSANet. It lets you know that they will get you ISIL IDs, but they will not be able to arrive until 3 May. So don't go into Mosul proper until before then, because if you get caught without an ISIL ID, you're automatically assumed to be a traitor.
3rd of May.
3rd
Yep,
of
the
May.
3rd of
That's
May.
a month
Yep,
away.
Yeah.
yep,
Huh. Okay.
yep. It's a little bit harder to get authentic ones for that. They do let you know that there is Humvees available that or recaptured back from ISIL that if you need to transit around, you would work as a decent cover vehicle. With the inherent risk of it looks like an ISIL Humvee, so you could catch a B-52 bomb on your head, but details.
It'll buff out.
I see what you did there. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, would it really? I don't know if it'd be a B-52, but it definitely would be a JDAM. Um,
Are there
I
local translators on this like unit or fob or whatever we're at?
Yeah,
And
yep.
I'm a partial translator as well. I can speak
I speak
Arabic.
Arabic. Yeah, me
I,
too.
Well,
Yeah,
so
pretty
I
good
meant
at it too.
like
I'm pretty sure we all do.
more
Yeah.
like what Kasim would like to do is since these people have probably been somewhat vetted by the United States as somewhat trustworthy, establish maybe communications or like a relationship with at least one of them. So, for example, if we need something but we can't get it, for example, we need something that's in Mosul, but we don't want to go in there until we have our proper IDs. We could call on one of these people and even pay them and just say, "Hey, we're looking for the whereabouts of this guy. Have you seen him? Or we need this thing. Can you go pick it up for us?" Or
So the people on base probably couldn't because they wouldn't have the ISIL IDs either.
Hmm.
But do remember that you have the entire intelligence capability access to that. So SIGINT, MASINT, HUMINT, all that stuff. You have access to NSA net.
okay,
What's Mazant?
Uh, Measurement, scientific intelligence, measurements and scientific intelligence. Yeah.
so are those like the GIS guys, like
No, no,
like mapping and stuff? And
no. It's more looking for signatures from missiles and stuff.
oh,
Okay.
Well, I don't know if this means anything, but it's flavor for my character. If I feel like I've needed to install anything in the computers based on my experience in hacking and stuff like that, I've done that as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'd love to get well, since we're here, I mean, we may as well make it home. So I'd love to get a city map of Mosul on the wall, and I would love to start push pinning the locations of those attacks that we have from the PDF.
Locations and times.
That'd be no problem at all to get that.
And I know this is like nitty gritty, like weird little detail,
No,
but
no. That's what this one's all about. Nitty gritty. So
I'd love to get our priority targets list, started. I'm going to put Rassam at the top, and then obviously immediately cross it out. And then I would like to include on that list the female servant. Can't recall if her name was mentioned in the video.
it was.
Okay.
Safa.
Yeah.
Safa. Okay.
Satha Hussein.
So I will mark or put her down as high priority.
Mhm.
Is there, so I know that our cover is part of 01132 Task Force. Is there an actual branch of 01132 Task Force on this base?
No, that task
Okay.
force does not actually exist.
Got it. Okay. Um, well, I mean, uh, cool. I guess the first thing or what I would like to line up also is, I know we have access to SIGINT, Humint, and the rest, either in person or via the database. I would like to start assembling a list of VIPs in Mosul, um, and start talking to some of the soldiers posted here at the base, specifically not the garrison, anybody going out of the wire, and see if they have anybody uh, that they know of that's kind of like a local pain in the ass.
Mhm. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that'll take a bit. That'll take a bit.
oh yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
have
So I get in your list of wants. I like it. I like
yeah.
it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'd,
Nice.
I'd
I
like
got
to
a
set up too
sociology
that
degree. May as well put it to use.
I'd like to set up too that I'm since we already got that information, we're pretty sure that the skinning is going to continue. So communications, anything coming out of Mosul that indicates in the news that something else has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know if they put that in the news or if they're getting
No.
that from police reports or whatever
Well,
they.
there's gonna be other stories. There's gonna be rumors and misinformation.
Yeah,
We can hear because people are gonna start blaming each other for it
so
Yeah.
as
we're
skinned
tapped
bodies are
into
found.
the network, Mosul network, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And remember that ISIL, as backwards as their beliefs were, they were very active on the internet and social media. So monitoring those kind of things are good ways to find out what's going on also.
I've got all
Yeah.
that info coming
As I
in.
said, that would 100% be Al Rabani. Trying to think what else. Sorry, I know I gave you a shopping list, Craig.
That's all right.
Um,
It's all right. I viewed it right now because you guys are kind of sitting there. You're just coming up with the stuff you want to look for. That's
I
all.
mean, that's
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I
we've
like it.
been that is what SOCOM do.
Mm-hmm.
You're given a general target, and everything in between is up to you on the ground. At least that's my understanding. Um,
Cool. All right. Okay. So we'll
yeah,
say
sorry.
you guys this discussion, it takes a while and all to kind of get there. But it's been a long day. So I assume you guys want to rest before you actually try and go outside the wire to
Oh yeah,
yeah. Okay. So all of you give me a power times 5 roll.
I passed.
Okay.
we failed.
I passed with a 44 out of 60.
The only one
Ooh,
that didn't pass was Albini.
correct. I got an
I
86.
failed.
And okay, all right. So essentially, all that is first night sleeping in a war zone is difficult, right? You've got
Yeah.
planes kicking on afterburners, taking off at you know regular intervals. Every once in a while, you'll hear the siren go off because some clowns lobbing a mortar shell over there, and they're just firing blindly. And so you hear that, and so by passing the willpower, you're just like going, okay, I'm just going to sleep through this because this is what's normal, right? Yeah, this is just nothing. And so like you're sleeping and you hear like a small explosion a little bit off, and then that's followed by jet engines cranked to the max. And so if you failed, you're just going to be a little bit tired. So if you can play that out. No, if you pass, Yeah, just the exhaustion of the day. You just slept through the night. The cot, it's a cot.
This ain't my first rodeo.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you took off from Ramstein late on the first. You got here essentially on the second. So it is the 3rd of April. Now waking up.
Conditioning. I need air conditioning.
Well, the trailer's air conditioned.
Yeah.
Which
Whether it
actually,
runs the whole time is debatable, but
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the air conditioning is called nighttime.
yeah,
Yeah. Not outside. It's not.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
All right. Sorry, Tom,
well, I
did you have
think,
something?
well, not really. I mean, it seems like we've got a whole month we have to wait. So I'll just sit and monitor information
So
coming in from.
if you remember, you're supposed to go to Rassam's house, who's not
Mm.
that's not in Mosul.
Oh,
So
that's true.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay.
no, it's
South
30
of
miles
Mosul.
south of Mosul.
So we got to go around Mosul then.
You're south of Mosul right now.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
Rassam's
So we
house
just go.
is between
Yeah.
us and
Ah,
between us and Mosul.
Yeah,
well
right.
then ignore what I said. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this the sort of typical, again, talking to the patrol guys,
hmm
find out, do we have our own version of Jihadi John, who's just, flinging pot shots for money at guys on patrol, like, what's going on out there kind of stuff.
Right.
But I would also like to, she said, yeah, we said they were recaptured Humvees.
hmm
Is there anything less conspicuous available? Like, can I get a Hilux?
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
Okay. Because I think even if it was, an ISIL Humvee or a former ISIL Humvee, I still think traveling around in a technical is probably going to be better for keeping under the radar than a captured um, a captured ISIL Humvee. Speaking of Humvee, do we know of any IED or minefields between us and Mosul?
IEDs. Oh yeah,
Sure.
everywhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no minefields now. There's no minefields out there. No
Right, but
mapped out minefields.
fair.
hmm
But I'm assuming like, because we're not going to have an MRAP, right? So like, would it be safe to assume that a technical is going to do us about as good as a Humvee would in case we came across an IED?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the ID and everything, but yeah, yeah.
So it's just more of one of those things of you just got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, cool. Yeah, I would like to secure a technical or secure a Hilux. And
So no issue. Okay.
let's see. So three of you are probably gonna have to ride in the back unless we want to see if we can get a second one.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
fine in the
bring some.
back.
Gotta
Gonna
do
bring
what you
some
gotta do.
high tech. Go ahead. I'm gonna bring some high tech recording devices and
Good idea.
video. I'll
I
have a thing on.
I'm gonna
I want to.
recommend. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna get some like tarp, some ratchet straps,
hmm
you things. God only knows what we're gonna need to haul back. So, uh, you know, anything bags. I'm not gonna go too overboard, but just enough to be what I
Yeah.
think is prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did Sloan happen to mention whether or not that vault was still unburied?
He
Well, he
said
was
he went
down
into it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't fault me for asking. Um, I think I'm gonna throw. I'd like to get, a couple of shovels, maybe a ladder in there if we need it. Um, and like, maybe 100 feet of rope outside of like our regular kit that we're bringing with us.
hmm All right. When you're checking the vehicle out from the motor pool, they ask if you want to have it equipped with an IFF, so an ID friend or foe. Uh, it's really up to you. Having an IFF means that you won't get a bomb dropped on your head by an aircraft. However, if you get caught by ISIL with an IFF, then they know that you're not probably ISIL. So it's
What's the concealability of something like that?
so it's about a little bit bigger than a paint can.
Let's take it.
Can ISIL remotely detect that, or would they have to physically discover it?
It's a good question.
We'll say that you guys work for like NSA and all. You would know that they captured a lot of equipment when they rolled into Mosul and the Iraqi army fled and left all their equipment behind. Uh, some of those were interrogators for IFFs that were left behind. So
Would it be possible to say where, posing as ISIL, um, say use the utility of having an IFF as ISIL operatives so that we can operate and not have to worry about, allied forces.
yeah, it would depend on what type of ISIL member you ran into. If you ran into Joe Jackball that just raids a house and smashes tablets, they'd probably buy that pretty good. You ran into their actual counterintelligence, that might be a little bit tougher sell.
Well, if we run into anybody like that, we can just kill them.
True.
Yeah, I say we take it. I think last thing I need is to get J damned out of the blue.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So, um, who's driving?
I will.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
I should not be driver.
Okay. Okay. We got a driver who's going to be in the cab of the vehicle and who's going to be sitting in the bed of the vehicle.
I
A shotgun
recommend,
then.
yeah, I was just say I recommended the technical, so I will sit in the back. I will
Okay.
suffer.
Right.
I'll sit in the back.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. So, you guys loaded up. You're obviously taking your weapons, or and all that, and you roll out. So when you roll out, getting off the base, you have to go through this zigzag of concrete barriers, and it takes a bit to get there. But then when you roll far enough behind, you pass the last roll of concertina wire, and you are outside of the green zone for better term as you're rolling out. It's going to be about a little over an hour drive to Rassam's home. So what I'm going to need, someone obviously the driver give me a drive roll, and someone give me a navigate.
I'll give the
I passed with
navigate.
a 17.
All right. It's extremely rough, roads and all with
Maybe I shouldn't be
craters.
the one who navigates.
Okay.
I got a 17, but I only have 10 in navigate.
All
Oh,
right. Okay. All right. So you'll still find the place. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to get there and all. We'll say about 10 miles south of Rassam's home. You see rolling down one of the parallel roads. You see a Humvee, and it's got the black ISIL flag painted on the side. And you see a couple of ISIL guys in it, and they look over because you failed your nav check. That's why you get this. They you see, and they turn left. You see him cutting across the desert over to intercept you.
Son of a bitch. Oh, Robbie, flip him off.
Oh God, no. Uh, Daniel's gonna cuss quietly and sort of like not pound, but knock on the roof
Mm-hmm.
of the truck just to let them know, like, hey, we've got we got friendlies incoming. Everyone switch to Arabic and be as inconspicuous as possible.
Hey.
What are we going to tell them we're doing?
Do we know common greetings and like
Yeah.
etiquette and stuff like that? So like if we're
Yeah.
just passing by other like Islamic State people, like is it normal just to wave or whatever? Like
Yeah, like if you're just passing like, Joe Schmo and they're not they probably don't do the cheap wave, but yeah, you just kind of like look at each other and just kind of go by. But you're right on the edge of their territory, so that's probably why they're immediately coming headed your way. Okay. So they kind of they get up onto the road and they're behind you, and you see the passenger. He rolls down the window, and you see he's starting to wave at you to get kind of the feeling that he's wanting you to stop.
Be ready for anything.
Yep, gonna safety off the foul and play it cool.
Okay. Driver, what do you do?
I'll pull to a stop.
Okay.
And I do have identity papers for the Islamic State, so I'll try to say as little as I can and just have those out.
Okay. All right. Uh, they pull up and they're a little bit back from you, and they stop. The driver stays in the vehicle, and the back doors open, and two guys get out. They're both carrying AK-47s, and they come walking up, and they look up at the guys sit in the bed of the vehicle, and they go, "Where are you coming from?"
We're gonna smile and wave. I mean, because we're coming basically straight from like where the Americans are. Um, is there another stronghold in that direction?
That sounds like a navigate.
Sure.
I'm not falling for that one again.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, I have a 50 and I rolled a 68.
Mm. Yeah,
Oh
so
no.
you throw out a city, but like maybe that's further east and it would make sense, like. And when you say that, he kind of stops and he goes, "What regiment are you with?"
We have no idea, really.
You can easily, yeah, you have no idea how they're. You see the other one. He's got his fingers kind of working his way toward the trigger.
Could
Uh,
we bluff and say something that might be, you know,
You could definitely
that
try.
sounds good. What do I roll? Guess intimidate
Hey,
or
I wouldn't say intimidate. Maybe they go a combine. Give me a combine persuade human.
Let's see. Where's my persuade? Ugh.
Do you want someone else to try it?
Yeah,
Well, I brought it
Oh.
up, so yeah, it's not going to work.
yeah, you gotta say something, and they look at each other,
Is
and
it just two of them?
there's the two that got out, and there's two sitting in the Humvee also. So the driver and the guy riding shotgun in the Humvee. But these two guys came out of the back of the Humvee at all. So when you say that, ISIL's not really known for their reasonable response, and
Yeah.
so you can automatically see that, like when you say that, they're not buying it, and you see them start lifting their
I'm just gonna go
Driver.
ice them and hose
All
down.
right,
Drive.
fire away there. Okay, so I'll just kind of go in order so we can keep it easy. So I'll just go in the order it is on my screen. So Naba, you go first.
All right.
Try not to all die in the first session.
I know. It might have been a reason I said there's 10 available creatures.
What is this? What is this? What am I looking? Firearms. Firearms.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
yeah, I got a 28 out of 30. So
And
I
I'm assuming
fire.
you're shooting in your AK.
I'm shooting, yeah, whatever that is. Yeah. Oh wait, that's 40%. I got
Yeah.
even better on that. So yes, I fire.
So you just kind of like lean out. Just okay.
Yeah.
Roll 2d10.
2d10. Mine says 1d12 plus 1.
Yeah, but I'm giving you the lethality.
Oh, 2d10?
Yep. Well, it's a D100 actually is what you're rolling, but
Right. Oh, wait a second. I'm confused.
so how lethality works, you roll D100 and your weapon's lethality is 10%. If you roll 10% or lower, you just kill and you don't have to roll. If you don't roll that, then you add the two dice together. That's how many hit points you did in damage.
Okay.
Got it.
Because it's an automatic weapon. Because it's not.
So I did not get under 10%.
Okay, so what are the dice added together?
10.
Okay. He's pretty effed up, but he's not dead. So he kind of Nasser.
I am also going to fire my AK
Okay.
as well.
Okay. No, fire away. Same guy or the other
Ooh.
guy?
I was shooting at the other guy, but I
Okay.
completely miss at a 98.
Okay. You're a little nervous and okay. Captain Pashkev.
I am going to go for the driver in the vehicle behind us.
Sounds good.
So if I roll under 10.
Well, first you got hit.
Oh, okay. Oh, firearms. Yes, with a 66 out of 70.
Okay. Yep. Oh, 66. That's a crit. You blow his head off.
Oh, shit. Okay. So just drop to one knee. Bam!
Boom! It goes right through it, and you just see this like red explosion inside of the thing as his head explodes. Okay, Sergeant Warner.
I'm driving away.
Okay, you punch it. Okay, and Kasim.
How many people are outside of that vehicle able
There
to?
are two. One of them's severely messed up as Naba blasted him with an AK, and another one has not been hit. Nasser missed him.
Okay. Do I know if it's worthwhile on the type of vehicle that they have to just unload into the grill just so they can't pursue?
Probably not. This is a military hardened Humvee.
Okay. Then I'm going to focus on the one that is not wounded.
Okay.
Disable him, firing my AK at him.
Okay, fire away.
Negative.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and also you're bouncing around as they're okay. Okay, all right. Obviously, their Humvee's not going to be. It's going to take a bit for them to get that moving since the driver's head's gone. But the guy that you both missed, he's going to fire his weapon back at you as you're going away. Okay, and we'll roll the see. Ooh, 27. Okay, that is a hit. And who is in the back?
There should be three of us.
Okay, yeah. That Nasser, Kasim, and Daniel, right?
I believe so.
Okay, all right.
That's right. We don't have
Okay,
any
so
armor,
I
do we?
rolled. All right, I'll roll one, two will be Nasser, two, three, four will be Daniel, and so on. So Nasser, you're the one that he hit.
Yep.
Hit with you, and he did 10 points. It was
Oof.
kind of like
Ouch. Where is my?
it'll be
I have
up
to
in
find my
the
hit points on the.
top right of the character sheet.
Oh, there it is. Damn. I'm down to 3.
Yeah,
Daniel,
yeah,
how are you with first aid?
I am not the medic.
Medic's driving.
But how are you
Medic's
with
riding
first aid?
shotgun.
Yeah, but how are you with first aid?
I have a 10%.
Okay, I'm going to use my first aid kit, and
Mm-hmm.
that'll give me a plus 20,
Okay.
but I still only have 30% after that, so here's hoping.
Yeah.
21.
Okay, yeah,
Yay.
you kind of get him past, and you get a one hit point back there as he kind of like starts
Puts his
stuffing.
finger in.
He's got some quick clot essentially, so you rip open the package, you dump it in, and it almost immediately clots like the wounds and all. It's pretty amazing stuff. Okay,
I'm not too good at this, but this will at least get us down the road, okay?
It's helpful. It's helpful.
so but that's the only shot they're going to get because, like Sergeant Warner's, he punched it.
Mm.
He's out there.
I got
Like I said,
two hands
their
on the
driver's-
wheel.
Their driver's
Yeah.
dead. So yeah.
I'm saying to Al Rabani, hey, would you mind calling an airstrike on their coordinates real quick?
Sorry.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
all
thank
right.
you. Great.
Just real
Yeah.
quick.
Hi. Can you
Yeah.
please?
Yeah, he goes. So you call up. You go, hey, we got insurgents moving down the road. They're in this Humvee. They're marked by blah blah blah, and
Don't shoot us.
yeah. So and you don't even see it because it's comes off. It just and about 10 minutes later, you see that this explodes.
Power.
Yes. All right. So, so you pull up to Rassam's place, and you see that you recognize it from the videotape and all. When you pull up, the gate is still intact. Looking through like the slats of the gate, the little gap in there, you can see that there are a couple Humvees there. And you see a couple ISIL guys kind of sitting around. They look like they're just talking, and they're not really paying too close attention or anything.
Stay low, Nasser.
How is the gate around this property? Is it all the way around perimeter?
Yeah, the wall is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We should park the vehicle a little ways away, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Yeah.
If we can hide it somehow. We have a tarp. We can put the tarp over it.
Yeah, you did bring a tarp.
There's
Didn't bring
probably
a tarp,
some rubble nearby that we could
Oh yeah,
kind of treat it like it's a bin and then throw the tarp.
Are we worried about anybody making off with the vehicle?
Oh, for sure. But, that's if anybody comes by.
There's not much out here. Nice
We
place.
could,
That's
I mean, if we wanted to be super secure, we could do something like pull the battery or like remove the fuse for the fuel pump.
if we want to get
That's a
out of
good
here
idea.
really quick if we need to.
Well, that's what I was going to ask is do we want to continue or do we want to take Nassar back? Nassar, how are you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I've taken a painkiller too. I can push on. I can push on.
I'm gonna look it over and compliment all Mala's work.
Thanks. It's
I'll
not my
take it.
strong suit, but I think the adrenaline in the situation showed the
Well,
best
there
of
you
me.
go. I mean, now all he needs is a lot of water and about a month.
He'll be ready for Mosul by then.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine.
Let's go check out
Psychological.
Okay. I would like to
underground.
make do we make it to the to Rasan's house?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're outside the gate right now.
All right.
Looking through the gate, we saw like three Humvees. I think he said. How many
Yep.
ISIL did you say we see through the
You see
gate?
you see two right now, kind of just sitting on the bumpers of the Humvee.
Okay,
One vehicle.
Two,
three,
Oh,
two,
two,
three. Yeah, sorry. Yep.
three. Okay.
Yeah.
hmm.
Um, the wall around this is it? Are we tall enough to see over the wall
No.
if we walked all the way around it? No. Okay.
So maybe one of you guys would want to take the lead, but I don't see any capacity to reason with these people. I think we should treat them as direct threats, take them out before they even know we're on them.
Well, that's an option.
Do we know how many there are? Have we figured that out?
They're probably in the building. They're probably down in that bunker.
Well, we'll have to
do
do it quietly.
Yeah, I think we should assume for about a dozen. Be prepared.
you
What
want
if
to
we could we lure the two over this way
Yeah, I
and
don't know
then
if I
get them?
want to just like prepare to just go fight a dozen people, you know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
What I
we
guess sorry, I was gonna say, I guess the question I have is like we know there's two of them. Sorry, Keith, I may have missed the descriptor. Did you mention there being like obviously a lot more?
There's obviously three vehicles.
Ah, okay.
Look, if we
Um,
follow proper Delta Green protocol, we should go back. We can always come back here with reinforcements.
they are probably stripping the place of valuables right now. This will be our only chance to stop them from taking what we need to find.
Our mission's over if we're all dead. So,
For us.
um,
Yeah, well, we
yeah,
could we could
DG will
wait
just
for
get
an
on it.
ambush. We could let them load up and get them while they're leaving. We don't have to act right away.
no, but have they seen us coming?
You you don't get the feeling they look like they're just kind of sitting around talking.
I mean, how experienced are we at infiltration and using knives to cut them or you kill them?
I'm very experienced.
Yeah, same.
My guess is that they're not on alert. Even the ones inside might just be
Yeah.
sitting
Well,
around drinking tea the way they do.
that's why the two are out is they're scouts. They're ready to alert everybody else as soon as something happens.
If we could take them out without them being able to yell. Well, let's do that. I mean, I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying that we need to observe and make a tactical decision
Yeah,
based on
absolutely.
our best
We
odds.
need to be all on the same page for sure, but
We're all military. We know what
this
we're doing.
seems like um a critical moment where they might get off with something that we need. And
There should almost be a role for tactical planning or
Probably
strategy.
military science.
Military science.
Military science.
I'm gonna give that a shot.
Okay.
I
All
have
right.
0.
I got a 34 out of 60.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, you kind of find a good spot where you can kind of observe in. Maybe there's a little area where it gets a little bit higher up, and you get out some binoculars and watching, and you just kind of just a little bit of time watching, and yeah, you can tell that you know anyone that's been on guard duty knows that pretty soon, unless you're expecting trouble, it's extremely boring and you get very easily distracted. They're sitting there. You see another guy come out of the house. He brings some tea to him, and they're just kind of laughing and joking. Oh, and with a 34 on that, you're probably not the elite of the elite or even the elite of the scrubs. Just the
We had a hand grenade.
I mean, I think we all do.
yeah, some of you guys have hand grenades.
If we could get rid of the 2 outside and then peek through the window, if you're all sitting in a circle drinking tea and having couscous, then we could toss a grenade in and get rid of them all in one shot.
Could we also just tell them that we've been sent here to dispose of any, like,
You're going to ask us what regiment we're in.
yeah, yeah, I'm definitely willing to hear any ideas for that. I'm not the guy for that though.
I've got no military science.
Yeah, like both of those are decent options, Go in there, sneak in, take those guys out, throw a grenade in at the little
Tea party.
tea party, or go in and tell them that hey, we're here to haul out items or whatever, So
I think.
Captain? Yeah.
Oh, I think we got to do the espionage. I think we can't. Between the if we hadn't done the Humvee, I'd feel more comfortable saying, let's actively engage. But since we had that engagement with the Humvee, I think we would be better served trying to keep a lower profile. Losing one group to an errant airstrike when they know that it's a problem is one thing. Losing, 20 plus guys is a clear indication that something's afoot.
Okay. All right. Sounds like you're going in with deception.
Yeah, I think I'll lead the charge on that, I think.
Well, I have a balaclava and an AK, so I'll just be the muscle behind you.
I mean, I also have a balaclava, but it's also like a bajillion degrees out here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hate it, but I need it to blend in.
Okay. Right. So you open up the gate. When you do, the 2 guards they kind of look up at you, and they yell out. They're like, they go, "Did are you hit? Did Al Jabari send you?"
Yeah, to pick up you said he was picking up cargo or something?
Oh, he's wanting to get this stuff out of here finally.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we brought the truck.
Well, bring it in.
Uh,
Soon we get out of this hellhole, the better. I hate it here.
I'll whistle, do that two-finger whistle thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Rabani or whoever's driving the truck, are you able to back it into this place?
yeah. All right, all right. So bag it in, they bring the truck in. They kind of they see it, and they're like going, you know what he's wanting?
I'm just gonna say they don't pay me enough to ask that question.
Yeah. He's like, man, he's gotten weird lately, don't you think? He's obsessed with this place.
What makes you say that?
Well, before he was all about, fleshing out the apostates, making sure we were set up to be able to, to get the caliphate up and running, and kill those Kurds. Now, he's like, oh, watch over here, keep it fine. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't. I'm sorry, brother. They don't tell me much.
I understand. I understand. I mean, higher ups, it's like I guess it's always been a tradition for the grunts to complain about the higher ups. It just I wish they tell us what's so important about here.
Can
I get nightmares sleeping here.
Yeah.
oh, uh, what's what is it okay for me to ask what is here? I'm gonna Daniel's gonna roll into that like I don't want to say almost naive because he's not
Hmm.
young, but just the kind of like I was told to come and pick up some boxes,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you just said something that makes me want to know what's in the boxes.
Yeah. He goes, hey, I don't know. He's like going, we were told, not to go down into the bomb shelter, and you know, you, you, you're okay. You're not gonna rat me out, right?
No.
Like I got curious. I went down there. It's cold. It it's cold like I've never experienced since coming back from Afghanistan. It's, but
What
it
what's in
makes no
there?
sense. It's like 40 degrees Celsius here, and down
What's in
there,
there? Is it empty?
down. No, no, there's this is a large amphora that's knocked over, um, and there's a lot of things, artwork, heretical artwork from the false gods from before Muhammad. It's like, but
Is that what we're transporting?
like I imagine. I mean, rest of the house, he said he didn't care what we did, but he told us to not mess with that. That seems the only thing he cared about.
You must want to make a show of getting rid of this stuff,
Yeah.
destroy it in public so
Well,
that people know.
no point in no point in providing a good target for the infidels. Why don't we get down there
Let's
and
get it.
get this going?
Yes. Sooner we're done, sooner I can get back to the city, and hopefully find me a wife.
Or
Here's
two or
hoping,
three or
brother, one
four.
day.
So we go. So you got the truck backed up. We go inside. There's three more people kind of sitting around. Looks like they were just telling more stories. They had their feet up. When the door opens, they hop up at the one guy. Uh, he goes, he's like, oh, they're here finally. They're gonna take whatever we've been guarding away, so we can get back to the real fight, not guarding empty places.
So, just for my notes, the guy asked us if Al Jabiri sent us.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just kind of like wave polite, be
Hmm.
polite and trying to get just get through this without getting us all fucking murdered.
Right. Yeah.
So you said there's three more guys in here. There's these
Hmm.
two. It says I'm looking around going, let's is there any more of you?
Oh, he's like the other shift. They're asleep upstairs.
Uh,
The beds are quite nice here.
you must
That'll be
be
the one thing I miss, except for the bad dreams that come on after about a couple of days.
he must be very serious about this stuff if he has two squads out here.
The higher ups. Hmm.
Well, let's
You
load it up.
so it kind of takes you back, and just like you saw in the video, it takes you back into the garden, and you see there, just like you saw in the video, it's all dug out. It goes down into what would have been a pool, and as you go down in there, you do notice that it gets noticeably cooler. Whereas it was like 40 Celsius, which is over 100 Fahrenheit. When you get down there, you're approaching about almost freezing.
Um,
Is
okay.
there is there any indication that anyone's been down here recently?
Um, that would probably be, just give me a alertness for that one.
Other than the blood stains all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 49 out of 50.
Uh,
We're just edging these
yeah,
rolls.
you're just right there and stuff. Recently, yeah, probably within a day or two, someone came down here. You maybe see some like the dust that was on the pool floor. It's been, there's a couple little footprints that like the next windstorm would probably cover him back up and
Right, but
all.
it's not like regular travel.
No, no.
Okay. So that makes me think this vessel is probably just a vessel at this point.
Something down here is making it cold. Should we
This is
put it back
true.
in the cage and put the top? Or do we bring the top with us, or we got the top back at?
The top's back at the
Yeah.
base. It wouldn't be here.
Let's.
Yeah, I guess I rally the guys, see if any of the guards want to help and get this stuff loaded. Now, if I remember correctly, it's mostly just smashed tablets and
It
this
is. Yeah.
amphora.
No. No. Yeah. If you're going to have one of the guards help you, you're going to need to. You don't even
We
have to
can do it.
roll. They're a little fearful approaching it. Like after being here, you know, they something about it doesn't seem right, and they don't want to go down that hole.
If they're not cool with coming down here, then I think we
Yeah,
could
I'm not
handle
going
it.
to push the
Yeah.
issue.
I'm going to carefully gather up any pieces of tablets.
Okay. So when you first go in, like when you actually cross over the threshold, it is really cold in here. And you can give me a Constitution ×5 roll.
58 out of
Wailed
60.
it.
I'm okay.
I got a
Okay.
14 out of 70.
All right. If you fail, you almost feel like you're. It's very hard to breathe. The air is so thin down here. It's like being up in the Himalayas and all. Like the altitude. So you're kind of sucking in the air, and you almost get that air panic that you get when you just can't get enough oxygen in.
Yeah, I'd take a moment at the door, just kind of lean there for a second.
Is there a draft?
Uh, yeah, so you feel the wind from where the pool is. It feels like it's being pulled into there, and so like it's an extremely low pressure inside of this vault.
We saw the guy get sucked into the amphora. Stay away
Uh-huh.
from the mouth of the
That's
amphora.
what I'm thinking. Is
This is
it might be
black
some kind of
magic shit.
portal
Yeah, I'm with you on that one as well.
How big is the amphora? Is it something one person could pick up, or
No,
would it take
it
a
would
couple of
take a
us?
couple of people. Yeah, it's 6 feet. It's bronze, 6 feet, so it's awkward and heavy.
Can we lift it up and push it into that cage that it was in?
Yeah, yeah, a
Close the
couple
cage,
of feet, couple of
then we
feet
can
to
move the whole cage. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do
Okay.
that.
yeah, and you're collecting all the pieces of the tablets and everything.
Yeah, and is there other stuff in here, art and stuff like that?
There is artwork.
We have to make a show of it, so we're going to grab everything that
Do we have the obsidian lid?
we don't.
It's back
It's
to
a
base.
base.
Right. Right. So, you're probably gonna, am I right in assuming you're going to take the art and the tablets out first and do the amphora last?
Yes.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you come in. It takes a few trips and all. Once you come out away from the pool, they're willing to help carry some stuff so they can set up like a chain of people, just kind of pass it along to make it a little bit quicker. But they don't want to go down into that pit and all.
Right.
In fact, you kind of get a feeling that they're. Give me a human roll on that to read in.
24 out of 40. So
Yeah. It's a combination of relief that this getting out of here and almost like they're admiring that you're being so
brave.
able to deal with it. Yeah, because like they can't put their finger on why they're afraid, but like that you would have had to force them to go down there after the.
Cool. So let's load it up and drive away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Get
can
a-
we can like put the tarp over
Yeah. So nothing falls out.
the jar and the amphora and everything and make us look a little less. No, we're still suspicious,
Right.
but anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you kind of put the tarp on there, you kind of see it like because you had it in that cage, right? And so you put the tarp on there,
Right.
you actually see the tarp kind of getting pulled into the amphora as it's.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh wow.
But if you tie it just right, of course, you
Right.
can.
Right.
Yeah, tie it.
Right. Okay. All right. So get it all loaded up, get in the vehicle, and someone give me a luck roll.
I haven't rolled much. Or, I mean, I've rolled too much. Nassar, why don't you roll? Since you got shot.
I've been rolling terrible, but I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 48.
Okay. All right. So as you're pulling out of there, right when you kind of maybe go over the next hill, the guy sitting in the back of the truck, you see coming from the direction of Mosul, you see some more Humvees headed, and they turn into the Rassam's house.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Rabani, would you mind calling in another airstrike?
Hi guys. Yeah.
We're
This
spotted
would be a lot of
another.
targets.
Well, we might as well destroy that place now that we got all the stuff.
Okay, you're gonna call in another
Yeah.
strike. Yeah. Okay. All right.
With extreme
yeah.
prejudice.
So, we'll say you're driving along and you hear in the distance several explosions in the direction of the house as sounds like another airplane's going to come home with their Bombays dry like they're supposed to.
Cool.
Does
All
the
right,
radio
sound-
work in this thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, nice. I'll
Yeah.
turn that up and mention
yeah.
to Al Rabani that we did a good thing today.
All right. All right. That
We-
sounds like a
we
good
saved
place
some
to-
art.
Yeah, you did save some art. Yeah. All right. This looks like a good place to stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our players included Julian Arba, Dan DePolis, Gordon Lewis, Kaylin McDowell, and myself, with Keith Craig as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon site, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.